bottle from Blue Waters. It's easy to open and full of great tasting sodium-free artesian well water that doesn't spill when you open it thanks to its wide mouth design. So grab one today. Life is better with Blue Waters.
This is what luxury included feels like. Chefs are creating masterpieces. The staff is putting their finishing touches. Bartenders are shaking things up. Butlers are preparing for your arrival. When can we expect you? Sandals, the world's only 5-star luxury included resorts.
It's the right time now. This is we time now. Everybody has in the air. Eyes watching them, eyes watching. Time to get them ball machine. We keep smashing till we.
The first ever standalone ICC Women's World 2020 is coming to the West Indies November 9th through the 24th. Tune in to watch as history is made. Get the full schedule at icc-cricket.com/World 2020.
Welcome to Kensington Oval for the Sandals Resorts International T20 Series. It's their first game of the T20s between the West Indies, the world champions, and South Africa. It follows on the heels of a 3-match one-day international series which was tied 1-1. I'm Andrew Seeley and the West Indies have won the toss. West Indies have won the toss and are batting. And of course, it's going to be Hayley Matthews and it looks like Natasha McLean who are going to be facing. And of course, joining me as usual, Kishonna Knight. Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, viewers. Today is a beautiful day outside. Hayley and Natasha to open the batting. Skipper will probably be coming at 3. West Indies will be looking for a win here today to get off to a pretty good start to the series. And there are a few changes. In this game, Shakira Salmon is out and Natasha McLean is in. So a batter for a bowler.
Well, I guess they have a lot of bowling, and they're confident in the interview, which we'll probably hear sometime later, which we did with the 2 captains. What's interesting is that Dane van der Kerk is out of the South Africa team. Chloe Tryon is captaining the team today. She's out, as well as Sune Elise also out. So an interesting combination here for the South Africans. Probably trying something different as they get ready for the T20. But West Indies with a powerful lineup. As you mentioned, Natasha McLean in for Shakira Selman. So a batter for bowler, and she's immediately opening the batting with the informed Hayley Matthews. And it's going to be, of course, Marizanne Kapp, it seems, who's going to be bowling first up for the South Africans.
Well, I think Danae probably is carrying a bit of an injury after the last game. I think the physio actually went out and was doing some work on her. So it may be an injury concern for Danae. But we will see how both teams go today.
But here we go. It's the first ball of the game. Driven into the covers, and Hayley Matthews is off the mark immediately. So West Indies won without loss. Your thoughts on what type of total West Indies will be looking for here? But I think the pitch seems pretty good again, and the outfield is probably just as lightning quick as it was on Saturday.
Yes, in the range of 140 will be 140, 145 will be the West Indies will be looking for. If they get more, I think that will be a bonus for them. But I think they need to get off to a pretty good start to challenge that total.
Natasha McLean in for this game. You surprised that she's got the opportunity in this first T20?
Not surprised. she hits the ball pretty well. She's a very attacking player. I don't think we will see Kaisia opening the batting here in many of the games. Natasha will be a preferred opener for the team as she gets after the ball and she tries to put the bowler under pressure early.
I think there might be an inside edge there. Raucous appeal from the South Africans looked a bit like an inside edge. I don't know if you saw it.
Could be. If not, she's pretty lucky there to still be there batting, but Haley's going to have a chat with her, and hopefully she gets off, because she's been out of the team for a few years, so this is her kind of her return back to international cricket, so she'll be looking to get a score here today.
She pushes that one into the offside down towards mid-off. There is no run, so we are in the process of the first over of the Sandals Resorts International T20. It's the first of 5 T20s, the only one being played here in Barbados. The other 4 are being played at the Brian Lara Stadium in Tarouba in Trinidad and Tobago. Nicely placed there by McLean, down towards third man. She gets a single, so it's 2 without loss.
Yeah, and I think Natasha will be very happy to get off the mark. As I say, she loves batting. She's a very excited young lady, and hopefully she can get a score here today and push on in the other games.
Down to third man once again, so another single. So it's now 3 without loss. And we're in the course of the first over. Scoreboard not yet up, so we have to be guided. 3 without loss. First over. Inside the off stump, I think that's the end of the first over. The umpires appear to be Jonathan Blades and Jacqueline Williams. Today, Leslie Reefer Jr. acting as the third umpire. Match referee, of course, former West Indies, Ghana and West Indies pacer Rion King, who is nattily attired in his ICC outfit as standing in as the ICC match referee for this game, and in fact probably for this series. The new bowler from this end, it looks like Masabata Class from the Joe Garner end, as they did for the 50 overs for the one-day internationals. It's Class who will open the bowling as well.
Yes, and I think West Indies will be looking to attack her.
Well, they did certainly on Saturday afternoon, so there's probably another opportunity to do so.
Yes, they'll be looking to put at least 2 or 3 of the South Africans on the pressure in their bowling, and trying to get the score off and running. Right now it's 3 in the first over. I think they're just feeling their way out right now. But as they get in and adapt to the pitch, we will see Haley and Natasha start to open up a little and start to rotate some more and find the boundary.
Defending world champions, the West Indies women, having won the title back in 2016 and looking to defend it here in the Caribbean in a matter of weeks. This is a good practice, a good workout for them. 5 expected to be relatively competitive T20s against the Proteas, who have been in the Caribbean for a couple of weeks now and will be here for another week or 2. Class pushed into the offside by Matthews, into the covers. Fairly attacking feel for the South Africans at the moment. There is a wide slip, almost a gully, a cover point, a cover, a mid-off, and then a wide mid-off, a mid-on, a long-on, and a forward square. Interesting feel.
Yes, and we see Haley trying to move around the crease already.
Well, she's had a look at Class previously, and that's the advantage she would have over Natasha McLean at this time, because she's had the opportunity to play Class and she batted against her for quite a few overs, quite a few balls on Saturday.
Yes, and after that brilliant 100, I think her confidence will be very high at this point.
Sky high, I imagine. The ball is wide, not signaled wide by umpire Jacqueline Williams, but Matthews trying to reach for it outside the off stump. It was through to wicket keeper Lizelle Lee, who had some difficulty on Saturday. She was struck a couple of times, so we'll see what happens if the ball does anything like that on today's game.
Class has started pretty well so far. Four dot balls to Haley Matthews.
Yep, and I know, and you've played so many T20 games, you don't want to see too many dot balls, do you? They're only 120 you're getting, so you don't want to see too many dot balls.
No, because I think that puts you under a bit more pressure than you're already under, just having 120 balls to face in the entire innings.
That's gone. It's going to be the first 4 of the game. Matthews coming forward and swinging one onto the onside. So she gets 4 runs off Class, and I want to suggest Matthews is off and running.
Yeah, it's a little streaky there. I think she took some risks in that shot. But I think those dot balls, those 4 dot balls, built a little pressure on Haley, and she tried to find the boundary, and luckily for her, she got the boundary.
Class taking her time when she gets ready now to bowl to Matthews. Full outside the off stump, that's a wide, and signaled so by umpire Jacqueline Williams. So that ball having been struck for 4 causes Class to send one wide down the offside, perhaps trying to avoid Matthews getting a touch onto it.
Yes, I think she overcompensated there for that one that was going a little down the leg side, and bowled this one too far on the offside. I also think South Africa has a debutant in the team today.
Got a ball. Matthews trying to guide this one into the offside, driving at it through to the keeper. And yes, there's a debutant. I believe it's Faye Tunnicliffe.
I think that's her.
Or Sarah Smith. There are a couple of people here, a couple of names that we haven't seen.
This is what luxury included feels like. Chefs are creating masterpieces. The staff is putting their finishing touches. Bartenders are shaking things up. Butlers are preparing for your arrival. When can we expect you? Sandals, the world's only 5-star luxury included resorts.
Towards the boundary, gets there now, so she gets her first 4. Not the best shot in the world, but she gets 4, and she now moves on to 5, and the total 12 without loss.
Yes, and I think that shot will give her a little confidence. I don't think it was that sharp for pulling, but she got it over mid-wicket, and she got 4.
As we go again, as Marizanne Cap, the better bowlers in world cricket. McLean cuts that. This one, it goes down to 3rd man, not in total control of that shot, and I want to say, Kishana, that Natasha McLean just needs to relax. She seems to be a little nervous. It's a T20 game, yes, and there are only so many balls, but she needs to focus.
Yes, I think that happens when you're out of international cricket for so long. And with the World T20 coming up, I think she'll be she's out there just trying to express herself, but I think she has a little more time than she thinks. She's opening. She can just give herself a few balls to really get in, and then as the innings go along, she can play her shots.
The final squad for the West Indies has been selected for the World T20. Has it been confirmed as yet?
I don't think the team has been confirmed
as yet. She's probably thinking about that. So all sorts of things she's thinking about. As Cap comes in and bowls to McLean, she cuts at this one hard again, but just straight to cover point, and she's really trying very hard. I think Matthews probably ought to have a word with her, because I think she's trying too hard. 14 without loss in the course of the third over.
Yes, I think this is how she plays naturally. But I think at this point, Haley probably needs to go and have a word with her. She can relax. She tried to hit that ball a little too hard. If she tried to place it, I'm sure she would have gotten a boundary just now.
When this one drives that one outside the off stamp, beaten through to wicketkeeper Lizelle Lee, and it's still 14 without loss, and just one ball left in the third over. And I think they need to ensure that Cap doesn't take a wicket. Cap is the best bowler in the team, and they just need to see off Cap, make sure she doesn't take any wickets. Wide outside the off stump. If she had left that alone, it would have been a wide.
Yes, indeed. Again, she's trying to overhit the ball. If you can get a runner ball off of Cap, their best bowler, I think they will be happy with that. I don't think they want to give her any early wickets. And with Chloe captaining is a little pressure for her also. So just trying to manipulate the ball right now, pick up the ones and twos and the odd boundary and start to build the innings without losing any wickets right now. I think that would be the objective of these two batters right now.
It's a change in the attack. It's going to be Zintle Mali who's going to come in. Class just had one over for 5 runs. And Chloe Tryon has rung the changes already. Surprised that Class, her first over only cost 5 runs. Surprised she was taken off.
Yes, if she didn't go for much, I think in the T20 game, if you're going for less than 7 runs, less than 6, I think a captain will be happy with that. But I guess she's trying to switch up the bowlers so the batters don't get accustomed to the one bowler. So we shall see how this goes.
Well, there's now no slip for Matthews. More orthodox field is a third man instead as Mali into Matthews. And just as we said, Matthews just gently touches this one down to third man, takes an easy single, so moves to 15 without loss.
Yes, and I think Natasha needs to take a leaf out of Haley's butt right now with rotating the strike and not trying to overhit the ball right now.
Here we are, Zintle Mali. Remember, this is the first of the T20s in the Sandals Resorts International Series. The only game to be played at Kensington Oval. The other 4 are in Trinidad and Tobago. Teams go on to Trinidad tomorrow, and the second T20 at the Brian Lara Stadium.
Yeah, so we should see what score we get today, because the Brian Lara pitch will be a lot different from the Kensington Oval pitch. So we shall see how that goes.
She drives this one. She may get just 2 runs. She hit it pretty hard, but I don't think she timed it as well as she ought to. So she just picks up 2 runs, so that moves the score to 17, and she's now on 8. So identical with Haley Matthews. They're both 8 off 10 balls. West Indies 17 without loss in the course of the 4th over.
Seems to me as Natasha has taken over Haley's role.
We shall see. Hits this one hard. It goes high into the air, but again won't get to the boundary, so it's just another 2. She's really going after the ball, and I think someone must have told her, go after Mali.
Probably instructions from the coach. This is probably her role in the team at the top of the order. If we can have Haley batting deep in the innings and Natasha going early after the bowling and getting some quick runs from as few balls as possible, I think that would be really good for the team. So maybe some instructions from the dressing room. 19
without loss. A change in field. The square leg on the boundary now comes up by the umpire, and the cover goes deep onto the cover point boundary for that big shot which he played just now. So the field now is spread a little wider on the offside. Driven back towards Mali. She picks it up. So it's 19 without loss. course of her first over. She's conceded 5 runs so far. McLean is on 10. That one is wide and signaled so by the umpire, Jacqueline Williams, so that makes it 20 without loss. The wicketkeeper Lizelle had to drift to her left to pick up the ball. That's also done wide on the offside, and she suddenly lost her radar.
Yeah, I think Natasha trying to attack her have put her under a little bit of pressure, and I think that's what we need to do. Find those bowlers that lose it after you go after them and try to attack them.
So back-to-back wides as Mali still in the course of her first over. Well driven into the offside. It's probably one of the better shots played by McLean for the day.
She actually timed that one.
Yeah. Only got a single, but that's not important. You need to make sure that you're informed. You need to make sure that you get ball on bat appropriately.
I think the West Indies will be pretty happy right now. They haven't lost an early wicket.
Right, 22 without loss in the towards the end of the 4th over. It's probably a good platform as we see a slight adjustment. The long on goes out and the cover point comes in to cover. Matthews slashes this one and she's gone. She's taken at that very position taken by Laura Walworth, who's fielding in that cover position. She just moved from cover on the boundary into the cover position, and Matthews, I don't know if you want to say fell for the trap, but Matthews hit the ball straight up in the air, and Walworth was able to come around and snuff it out. So West Indies have lost an important wicket at this stage. 22 for 1. Matthews is gone for 10.
Yes, I think she reached a bit for that ball. It was a little wide of her, and she still tried to go through with the shot, probably getting the toe end of the bat, and a good catch there at cover. And I think South Africa will be pretty happy to see the back of Hayley Matthews right now. And
following her magnificent century, as you mentioned, on Saturday, 117, she's out today. I think I may have said 10, but she's actually gone for 8 off 10 deliveries.
Yes, and I think Chloe, as a skipper, as the captain today, will be happy she got Hayley early. But with that said, Stephanie Taylor has now gone to the crease.
Well, this is the key to our West Indies batting, as we mentioned, the Windies women. Matthews, Taylor, and Dotting, the key to our batting. And one of them has gone, so Captain Stephanie Taylor now, it's up to her to take full charge as the premier batsman, not only in T20 cricket, but in world cricket. Slight discussion as to who should be facing, and as it turns out the batsman did cross. So it's going to be Natasha McLean who will be facing.
And we have a change in bowling again.
And this is the young fast bowler Tumi Sekakune, who bowled particularly well on Saturday in the face of the challenge of all 3 of our premier batsmen, Hayley Matthews, Deandra Dottin, and Stephanie Taylor. She bowled pretty well.
Yes, indeed. And
but she bowled from this end.
Yeah, I think she'll be looking to have another good game today.
Young player from Benoni, I'm told. She's only 19 years old. Driven hard by McLean. Taylor was looking for a single, but some indecision there. So eventually, all is well.
Yes, and I think it may be, I don't know if she will be hoping for a good day, but this is a different format. This is the format everyone tries to get after you. Again, right there shows Natasha going after the bowling again, but it's very well stopped at bat right point by Dupree.
Good ball, jumped up on her, and McLean, I think, was surprised, but she was able to play effectively, but certainly she was surprised by that delivery.
Yes, and I think she pulled back the length a little and bowled it a little more on her body, and she wasn't expecting that. She's very sharp, but I think she has a little
and sharp.
Yeah, has a little pace about her.
that one again. So that's 3 dot balls. And the dot balls are mountain, yes.
I think Natasha just needs to find a single and get off strike right now.
Yeah, she's looking for the big shot as opposed to playing smart and go for the single.
Those 2 balls she could have guided down to the third man and get easy single.
Another big shot, but straight down to mid-off. And this is definitely not good enough. I think Stephanie Taylor
probably needs to
have a word with her. She's coming down. Yep. Oh no,
I think she's probably giving her instructions there
as to what to do by that direction.
Yeah.
Sekune, good over so far. No runs have come off. Popped up on her, but she just gets a single as it just drifts down into the area of what would be a gully if there was a fielder in our position. And the fielder at cover point comes around. It's a smart stop. Throws it back to the bowler. So we've had 5 balls in this, the 5th over, and just 1 run.
And Sukuni will be looking to end this over pretty good. 5 balls have gone for 1 run, and I think the skipper will be telling her another dot ball here.
Well, Stephanie Taylor facing her first bowler, the Windies skipper. She said she was excited to be getting into the T20 format. Looking forward to it. She pushes this one back down the pit. So it's a good over from Sekune. She bowled 1 over, just 1 run. As the Windies women not getting off to the flyer that they would have hoped for. But in the power play, 5 overs have gone and they've only got 23 runs, 23 for 1. It's Kashana Knight in the Covent's position.
Yes, I don't think this is a pretty start the West Indies would have hoped for. But just losing 1 wicket, anything is possible coming on to the last 15 overs. With Deandra Dottin still to come, we all know what she can do. And with Stephanie at the crease. I think the West Indies will be, after they start, the target will probably have the score they'll be looking for probably have dropped if you don't pick up the scoring soon.
Again, tried for a big shot. It may get to the boundary, and yes, it will, but it not in full control, not timed at all. She moves to 16, but even though she's 16, she's still haven't been there for the length of time that she has been, still not looking in good touch.
Yes, I think she's trying to. I think she's using most of her body strength instead of just timing the ball with the pace of the bowler. She's getting away with it, and I think she will continue to bat like this.
Another big shot straight back at Class, who's returned for her 2nd over.
I think she timed that one a little better. Unfortunately, the 12th man is in the way of the stumps. Probably would have gone for another boundary down the ground, but unfortunately the ball hit the stump. And Natasha, as I said, she will continue to go after the bowling.
Jacqueline Williams
doing
some repairs and a change in field. We now seen the Mali come all the way down to long on and the square leg on the boundary up to standing next to the umpire. And she, I don't know if she called it a cut drive at that, and it goes down towards 3rd man. It's just a single again, just a single.
Yeah, and as we said, she's going after every ball. She seems to be looking for a boundary every ball. And with that single, that brings Stephanie Taylor into strike. She's yet to get off the mark, only facing 1 ball. And that's turned into mid-wicket for a single, and Stephanie's off and running now.
So we're in the course of the 6th over, the final over of the power play. Windies, I would imagine, would have expected and hoped to be at least 40 plus in the 6 overs. They're actually only 29 for 1. And they've lost the wicket of Haley Matthews for 8. Natasha McLean is on 17 and 21 balls, and Stephanie Taylor has just come to the crease. She's on 1. Again, McLean looking to steal a single. It's not there. She seems to be finding every fielder at every position.
Yeah, so I think for that shot she needs to play a little later. She's playing it too early and it's going to point all the time. And all the fielders are on the circle. Maybe she can just drop the ball, soft hands into the covers and get a single.
Full ball, she didn't make use of it. That was an opportunity for a big shot, but she missed out.
Yeah, and I think the West Indies will be under little pressure right now. Only 29 after the 6 overs, and I don't think it would make it any easier with the fielders going out now.
Yeah, it's 29 for 1. We've had 3 extras, and it's going to be Sekune who will continue. She had a very good first over. Just conceded 1 run, and there's a long discussion between Captain Stephanie Taylor and Natasha McLean. And I think they obviously need to change their strategy at this stage. 29 for 1. Red rates just under 5.
Yes, and I think Chloe as the captain today will be pretty pleased so far. I think she'll be behind her charges right now to continue this good bowling that they have started here.
It's going to be Sekune to bowl to Stephanie Taylor. Field spread a little. It's very strong offside field. Driven through that same offside by Taylor, but down towards the cover boundary. It's just a single. So it's going to be McLean back in strike.
Yes, and I think West Indies need to find a boundary over with picking up those singles in between.
Well, I think that's the usual plan in any T20. At least a boundary or a maximum for 6 per over, along with singles, would get you to the kind of total that you're looking for.
Yes, I don't think they will want much more dot balls at this point in time. They had plenty in the first 6 overs.
McLean looking for a cheeky shot there.
And as I said just now, you don't think we want too many more of those dot balls that have built up in the first 6 overs.
Definitely not. Again, well, she gets a single, not in control of that shot for sure.
I think the skipper will be happy that she's off the strike again. I think we need to do something more here. We're just letting the bowler bowl at us. And if we continue at this rate, we will probably get only 100 or a little above 100.
No, definitely not enough. Having seen South Africa batting a big shot from Taylor into the onside, she's going to get 4 runs for that. Trickles over the boundary now. So that's the 4 that's needed in the over. Just total moves up to 35 for 1 in the course of the 7th over.
And just as I said, we need to get something happening. The skipper tried. I don't think she got it. She was in total control of the shot, but it is 4 nonetheless. And I think she'll be trying to put these bowlers under some pressure now. We need to get the score going a bit more at 35 for 1.
So it's Kume. Taylor takes a look around the field. Stephanie Taylor takes a look around the field. Ooh, a slower ball outside the off stump, but she was beaten. Slower ball. Not anticipating it. Good thinking by the youngster here, Sekune, belying her youthful appearance and youthful knowledge of the game.
Yes, and only in this is her first T20. I think she's handling herself pretty well, bowling at a big name, Stephanie Taylor.
to drive this one, but straight to mid-off. So she, like McLean, guilty of finding the fielders. So after 7 overs, Windies only 35 for 1. And the South Africans are buoyant at the moment. They think they've got Windies under some kind of pressure.
Yes, if it was Chloe right now, would be pretty happy at this stage. I think she will still be trying to pick up some wickets. I think she will want one of her bowlers to pick up Stephanie Taylor, and with Deandra to come, I think she'll be trying to restrict these two at the crease right now for as little as possible, giving Deandra a lot of work when she comes to bat.
So 35 for 1. Big breaking story, Kishana in Windies cricket, and they say there's never a dull moment in Windies cricket. Stuart Law has resigned as head coach of the Windies men's team to take on a new role in January 2019 as the coach of Middlesex County Cricket Club in England. So Law, who only started in February 2017, will stay with the Windies team for the tour against India and Bangladesh, but will not be available for England next year, which is in January. So more news in Windies cricket.
Yeah, and that just came to me as a big shock.
Out of the blue.
Yes, I think he has been doing a pretty decent job with the team. He's still fairly new to the team.
February 2017.
And I guess the West Indies will be looking for a new head coach again.
And the drama continues in Windies cricket. 35 for 1. Start of the 8th over. Good shot there, but straight down to long off by McLean. So she only picks up a single.
I think she's starting to time the ball a little better now. Maybe if she took her time at the beginning, she would have found this timing a little sooner. But she's still there, and I think the team will be hoping she bats deep in the innings and starts to find some boundaries.
But the thing is, if you stay out there for as many overs as she has, then it's important that you stay to the end because you need to bat on. Well driven by Taylor, but again only down to long on. So it's again only a single, so that makes the score 39 for 1 in the course of the 8th over.
And I think this rotation of strike we needed in the first 6 overs of the game, but I think it's still good that they're not getting any dot balls right now. I still think the rotation is very important, but we still need to find a boundary over.
That's wide. Will be signals accordingly. Mali, who is back in her 2nd over. She now has 1 for 12. She's remonstrating with herself, not happy that she bowled yet another wide. So far there have been 4 wides. And just to repeat, breaking big news, Stuart Law has resigned as Windies head coach. He'll be joining Middlesex County Cricket. He'll be available till the end of the India and Bangladesh series, but won't be available for West Indies v England in 2019.
Yeah, Natasha is 21 off of 28 balls, and Stephanie Taylor is 7 from 7. You see, the girls are going to take a drink for them, probably. I
think at the end of the 10th over there should be the break, but they may want to come on before then. Again, just finding the fielder, so no run.
And probably some words from Coach Springs.
Yeah, I think they probably need to get some word. 40 for 1 in the course of the 8th over. Definitely not the type of start Windies are accustomed to. That's wide, another wide, that's down the leg side this time. And Mali is remonstrating with herself. She can't believe it. She's bowled 2 down the offside and now 1 down the leg side. Windies will take them though, because there's another ball. It means it's an extra ball, and they need it.
We haven't had a boundary from the overs yet.
That one, I think McLean was looking for it to be called a wide, but umpire Jacqueline Williams stayed unmoved. So at the end of 8 overs, 12 overs remaining, score is 41 for 1. And we're having, I guess this is an informal break, because we see from both sides coming onto the field.
Yeah, I think some instructions probably went out there with the drinks at 41 for 1 after 8. I don't think the West Indies will be too happy with this position right now. I think we can take some chances with all those wickets still inside. Skipper is at the crease and Natasha is there. And I think right now they'll be looking to push on. And I think this is one of the new debutants coming into the attack.
Well, before we get to that, just to keep you updated, Stuart Law says, I've had to make the difficult decision to leave my role with Cricket West Indies. It has been very enjoyable, and I believe we have made tremendous strides forward as a team during the past 2 years. I'd like to thank the players, staff, and fans for their support. He'll be taking a role with Middlesex County Cricket Club, which will keep him close to his family. Stuart Law has resigned as the Windies head coach. He'll be with the team for India and Bangladesh only, but not available next year. He's joining Middlesex County, so he'll be at Lords, the home of cricket. It's Barry A. Wilkinson, who just came into the commentary area, very surprised by the decision of Stuart Law. He's gone. The new bowler is Dupreez, Bingman Dupreez, driven by Taylor into the offside.
And I think this is one of the bowlers we should be looking to
hit. Yeah, this is how we're back. Windies struggling, 42 for 1 in the 9th over.
I've never seen Dupreez bowl.
Well, you're seeing her now. Full toss down the on the leg side, but Natasha McLean again still not taking full advantage of it. She only gets a single.
And with the skipper out today, the nail out today, I think that was a loss for the spinner for the South Africans. So I think they needed to find an extra spinner. That's another single to Stephanie.
Yeah, that's all we're getting at the moment. Driven, that one should go to the boundary. I think it will, just ahead of the fielder. So that's 4 runs to Natasha McLean.
And with this outfield, although she's not timing it perfectly, she's still getting the ball to go with her strength.
So 48 for 1. We're almost at the end of the 9th over. At the end of the 10th over, Barry Wilkinson will come a-calling. Cut by McLean down towards the cover boundary. Just a single. So it's now 48 for 1. I think Barry should probably join us now, and Kishana will stay for a while, and then I will come back and bring up the end. So Barry's going to join us. So Kishana, it's 49 for 1. Windies struggling somewhat. After 9 overs, they're 49 for 1.
Yes, I think now they'll be trying to pick up the score a little. I don't think they will have been expecting to be in this position right now, but with only 1 wicket down, I think the batters can take a few chances and get the scoring rate going.
Hello to you, and it's certainly a very interesting start, 49 for 1, but you would perhaps begin to feel a little bit that the West Indies, like you said, need to get a motor on it. It might be that they have 11 overs left. They're going to push on shortly. I expect to see Deandra come in next. You'd agree with that?
Yes, and they take a cheeky single there. I think she had a better chance throwing at Stephanie's end. But at this stage, we probably need Deandra to get in there and get in as quickly as possible, so she can get into her work. And 50 comes up off of 60 balls. 38 minutes. 5 fours. We haven't seen a maximums yet.
No, we look forward to seeing some. This might be one. And it's actually Boulder. It was down the leg side. She was looking to sweep. It appeared like it was perhaps a full pitch delivery, but it might have perhaps dipped in the latter stages. And now that's a big wicket. Stefanie Taylor, she has been bowled, and South Africa now having the Windies rather, 49 for 2.
Yes, and I think the skipper missed out there on a full toss. That's unfortunate. We see Shemaine Campbell come into the crease now.
I would have thought that Deandra Dotting would have come at this stage. Only 9 overs left.
Yes, I thought Deandra would be heading to the crease now to get herself in for the last 5 or so overs, but we see the team has sent Shemaine Campbell. She's still a pretty decent player. She can clear the ropes, although she's very, very, very small. But I think the West Indies needs to find some boundaries right now.
West Indies now with 2 of their prolific run scorers back in the hutch. A lot will depend here on McLean now, Campbell and Dottin if they're to get a big, big score. Young Akeem Klinkett from CBC fame, who's going to be a budding commentator pretty soon, comes to call in to say hi. Perhaps we should get him on the mic a little later on.
And I think that was the first international wicket for Smith.
Yes, that's her debut wicket. Congratulations to her. I guess you could say she's been doing well at the local level in South Africa. So it's only natural now that she has some kind of progression. Just 1 more run.
That should have been out of the ground, full toss. And South Africa is building some more pressure here on the West Indies.
You look at the South Africans as to how they've been running around the field even during the T20s, even the 50 overs correction, and they seem to have that urgent buzz. But it's early days yet. West Indies still have 10 overs left. A good score on this pitch to me looks like about what? A good 130, 140 I think would be a good total.
Yeah, so I was saying 140 from the start. For the West Indies to get to that 140 right now, they need to push the score a little, pick up some twos and the odd boundary.
Yeah, well, it's going to be Van de Kerk, just a single. Oh no, they're going to pick 2.
That's Dupree.
Dupree's, sorry.
Van de Kerk is out today. She isn't playing.
Yeah, she's not playing. She's, I understand, down with the flu. Hope that she's better. Perhaps 4 games left, so by the time she reaches Trinidad, she should be fine. That's a full toss, but there's a sweeper, just 1.
West Indies still not being able to pick up those boundaries. I think Deandra will be eager to get out there. We were hoping to see her next, but
yeah, it's a bit surprising she didn't come now.
We've seen Shemaine Campbell gone to the crease, and she's one from 4 balls.
I'm a bit surprised the West Indies haven't been able to find the boundaries. Have you been impressed with McLean? 32 from 37. She's looking good.
Indeed, she's looking pretty good. Early in her innings, she tried to to overhit the ball a little. I guess that was her nerves from being out of international cricket for such a long time. But she has a score for herself. I think she'll be looking to push on for her team also. And being out there right now, I think the team will prefer her out there than back inside. Although she's 32 from 38, if she bats to the end, I think they'll be pretty pleased. And that's an edge down to the third man boundary for 4.
Yeah, much needed boundary there for the West Indies women, just to ease the pressure a little bit and also to try and help that run rate. The over has ended 60 for 2. Even though they've lost their 2 prolific batsmen, I still think that it's a good score at this stage, considering the conditions and everything else.
Yeah, once they set a platform for DeAndre to come next, hopefully. I think they'll be pretty pleased right now with only 2 wickets down. Although the score needs to push a little more, I think as a team they'll be pretty happy that they've only lost 2 wickets so far.
Just another run. I think McLean is trying to establish herself as perhaps the opener to be used for the upcoming T20 series and also for the upcoming World Cup. These matches will serve as a bit of a trials as well, wouldn't they?
Yes, I think so.
Well, that's hit high in the air. A number of fielders are emerging onto that, but none of them will get it. It's 2 more runs. What I would say there is that there was a lot of effort from everyone, but it just seemed to be out of everyone's reach. Tyrone was going for it. Sikune was also going. Mali was also going, but no one could have reached it.
Pretty dirty there.
I was very worried, I'll tell you the truth. I was very worried. She's bowler playing across the line again. A very similar shot to how Stephanie Taylor was dismissed. And now Taylor and McLean given back-to-back wickets there. And it means the West Indies now 63 for 3.
Yes, she played right across that ball and missed it. She could have played it down the ground for another single. But I think she had a pretty decent knot, 38 from 41 balls. I think the team will be pretty pleased with it, although she didn't carry on. But now DeAndre Doughton is heading to the crease.
Yeah, so perhaps they wouldn't mind that DeAndre is now coming to the crease. This is tailor-made for her, set up for her in terms of her style. I continue to say she's the Andre Russell of the West Indies women when it comes to T20 50 overs. She has that reputation to get going from ball 1. There are some players who need to warm up and get some balls under their belt, but she gets going from ball 1, and that's been an impressive feature for a game from the time I've seen DeAndre about a decade now almost play cricket.
Well, I think she more like Chris Gayle. I think she deemed herself on Chris Gayle. He's the universe boss, and she calls herself the world boss.
Well, I called her after Andre Russell based on where she bats, whereas Gayle, opens the batting. So perhaps like a McLean might consider herself a more of a Chris Gayle type cricketer because she also gets going from ball 1, but she's an opener. But you usually find DeAndre comes in at this stage of the game based on where she bats and floats from 5, 6, even 4 at times.
I think the debutant will be pretty happy. She has 2.
Yeah, she's got 2 wickets already. Young Smith, she's probably saying to herself, this thing is easy. Why wasn't I playing before?
If she can get DeAndre now, I think she'll be on top of the world.
See, both of the batsmen, they played across the line of the deliveries. Even if they were well flighted, they should have played straight.
Yes.
There you go again. Now that was also very close. They certainly need to watch what she's doing because that could have easily ended for wicket number 3 for Sarah Smith. It's a single in the end.
Yes, and these full tosses seem to be giving the West Indies a little bit of trouble. DeAndre is very lucky to still be there batting after that one barely missed.
Introducing the all-new 500 ml Eco Bottle from Blue Waters. It's easy to open and full of great-tasting sodium-free artesian well water that doesn't spill when you open it thanks to its wide mouth design. So grab one today. Life is better with Blue Waters.
Well, it's going to be another bowling change, it looks like to me. Yeah, it looks to me like Sakune. He's going to come back on. So today's captain is, of course, Chloe Tyrone. Strangely enough, she hasn't bowled yet. Perhaps she might not come today. We've got Cap 2 for 9. 2 overs, no is done for 9 rather. Class 2 overs, no is done for 11. And Capriza 2 overs, no is done for 16. It's been Malley and Smith to pick up the wickets. Very well fielded. Excellent fielding there in the deep. That's Laura Wolvart. Diving to her right and pulling off a very, very good stop.
Okay, Scott DeAndre struck that very hard.
I thought it was 4.
Me too. So that's very good fielding there from the South Africans.
Good bowling as well. That one just popped up a little bit. Seems to be a little spot there on the pitch that DeAndre played it well in the end, but one that's given a little trouble.
And again, the dot balls are building up again.
That kept very low. Very, very low. She was able to keep it out. She did well because most batsmen might have been on the back foot. She watched it right onto the bat. That's good batting from DeAndre Doughty.
And with the previous ball bouncing on her, then this one keeping a little low. I think she did pretty well there.
Quick single, and that's what you need when you're not able to get the ball away. Faye Tuncliffe coming across and doing the fielding.
Sakune is bowling very well here for a very young bowler, new to the
Yeah, I think she's only 19 years old.
Young with age and young international career. She's doing pretty well for herself.
Yeah, I noticed her ability from the 50 overs. In terms of her batting, she is a very eager kind of batsman, but she doesn't have the runs to show it. But she's very eager. She's into her cricket. There's no doubt about that.
And that's pretty good to see just at the age of 19.
Correct. They have to take that single quite quick. And they do. That's just one.
Sakune has bowled 3 overs for 9 runs.
So 66 for 3. The West Indies women only have 7 overs left.
This is what luxury included feels like. Chefs are creating masterpieces. The staff is putting their finishing touches. Bartenders are shaking things up. Butlers are preparing for your arrival. When can we expect you? Sandals, the world's only 5-star luxury included resorts.
So leg buys, doesn't matter how they come. In this form of cricket, you just want to get the scoring going. Again, that's a big miss, a big hit and miss, or swing and miss, correction. When I was coming upstairs, I was sharing the elevator with some officials from Sandy Lane. And I said, wow, 3 officials from Sandy Lane, you guys are coming to watch cricket? They said, no, we're coming to book boxes for the upcoming England series.
Wow, they're very early.
Well, they said that they have a big request ready for that England series. Of course, that goes off in January 23rd. And they have already come to book their boxes, so you can expect to see a packed Kensington Oval if you're going to have that situation already. Lots of cricket here at Kensington coming up. We've got the Super 50 starting in just 10 days' time. Then the regional first class competition. And after the regional first class competition, you've got the England series. And I'm really excited about the England series in January, because we don't often see Test cricket being played in January in the West Indies. That's a poor delivery, and it deserves what it gets. 4 runs. It was wide, it was down the leg side, there was no one at fine leg, and Deandra Dottin gave it the full treatment. 4 runs, and the West Indies now move to 73 for 3.
That's very well played by Deandra. She took advantage of it, and that's good to see, because we've seen some ordinary deliveries not being put away.
I think we've seen 1 or 2 get wickets as well. That's a good shot. That's a textbook shot. That deserves a boundary. And it does get it. There was no swiping about that at all.
She waited on it and she placed it perfectly. Although she's bowling very slow, the power of Deandra still found the gap and it still got to the boundary.
The power of that shot and the execution is what was impressive. Yes, it actually got through between the point and the cover point, but the power off of a slow ball, she really muscled that. So 77 for 3, we've got 6 overs left. McLean top scoring 38 from 41 balls. Matthews went for 8. Stephanie Taylor for 9. I'm gonna allow you. Okay. So Andrew Seeley is going to rejoin me to take it to the end. And Andrew, I would say a pretty good score, but they would be perhaps a bit happier with about 95 on the tins right now.
I think they must be disappointed, Barry, and the 2 of the 3 premier batsmen already back in the pavilion, so it's left now to Deandra Dottin to anchor the innings with the last 5 overs and 5 balls to go.
Yeah, you're right. Mohammed to come, Fletcher to come, but they're not known to be big hitters. Aguilera is definitely not a big hitter.
And Kaisi Knight not a big hitter either, really. So.
No.
But Barry, the biggest story in West Indies cricket, and as they say, there's never a dull moment in Windies cricket.
Yes, that's right. And the resignation of Stuart Law. He departs at the end of December.
Yep. He's taken up a big posting at Lord's, the home of cricket.
That's going to be a single. And you can send in your application. I'm sure you're well qualified to coach.
It may well be one of those jobs that nobody wants, Barry.
I'll take it.
Oh well. So you know what to do. You know some people.
I have no problem taking that job.
She's bowler. It's a good delivery from Sekune, who has bowled very well, Barry. She's now in the course of her final over. She's now taken 2 for 10.
Yes, she's bowled really well. The bowling has been very good generally, I must tell you, Andrew. It's been impressive. I just think the Windies would have lost their way a little bit with the sending of this order today. Deandra should have come a bit earlier. But take nothing away. The bowling and the fielding has been very good from South Africa.
Yeah, and it's a South Africa team which seems more up for it than the Windies team. I don't know if you're seeing what I mean. They seem to be more up for it. I think that's part of the issues. Chilean Nation now coming to the crease. We'll see what she can produce. So she's coming before, she'll be coming in before Marissa Aguilera and before Kaisi Knight. So this is interesting. Doughton. So DeAndre Doughton now really has to take the mantle up and lead the Windies at 79 for 4 in the 15th over. So just 5 overs and 2 balls left. I don't know how many more runs they can get based on how they're batting now. Even if they get 30, 40 runs, will that be enough?
Well, it all depends on how they bowl, but I think to be certain, a good score 140 would have been, you know, a very competitive one.
For 4. So many possible coaches though, Barry. I mean, in all the T20 tournaments, there's so many coaches now. There's so many people that could put their hand up and get a job as big as that. Head coach of the Windies men's team.
Yeah, I think you're right. The shot for LBW, the possibility with all the women's coaches, sorry, all the T20 coaches, it has widened the pool of those who are available.
Yep, so that's the end of the 15th over. Windies women 81 for 4. And South Africa remain in a strong position. And as they move around the field, you can see Chloe Tryon, acting captain today in the absence of Dane van der Kerk, is certainly doing a very good job. And it looks like Mali, who's going to come back for her final dash at it. She has 2 overs, 1 for 14. She's going to be bowling from this end, the Joel Garner end. 81 for 4, 5 overs remaining. DeAndre Doughton is on 13 or 14 balls, and if she can get to 35 at the end of the innings, we would have done very well and got to about 120. But let's see what will happen. South Africans taking their time in setting this field. Eventually, they have agreed to 3 fielders on the onside on the boundary. And Doughton went for it. She should get 2 runs here. Oops. Nation toppled over. Let's hope that she's not too badly damaged, but she toppled over trying to get home for that second run. No one from the, I now see the physio coming. Took a little while for the physio to get on the field. She's been crumpling for a little while on the ground. Not sure where she hurt. She raises herself up. Let's see what she's crying for. It looks like her right leg just above the pad. Right leg just above the pad area. Let's see what the physio, are they going to take off the pad? The cricket pad, that is. This does not look good at all. Windies 83 for 4 in the course of the 16th over. It was the first ball. She went for a second run, which was a very tight second run. In fact, if the ball had hit the stump, she probably would have been run out. The bat bubbled in her hand and probably hit the ground and popped up. She's now sitting up. She's probably taken a painkiller or 2, drinking some water now. So hopefully she'll be back up and she'll be able to sprint, because DeAndre Doughton is very quick between the wickets, and she's going to challenge Nation to run some cheeky singles, and they need all of them. But it's definitely the right leg. She's flexing it now. Windies 83 for 4, and I guess we'll soon be back to action as the physio continues to have a word with her. Stuart Law. Legacy of Stuart Law in about 18 months, 19 is probably going to be. Windies will do for England, because it's the time frame is very tight.
Very tight time frame.
Very
Well,
tight.
no, what I think they might do, I think they might. Oh, that's very good fielding there.
Is
They're
it?
gonna go for
Is
four.
it?
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's good. It's excellent.
They get actually.
They're
they
gonna still
ran
run four. They're gonna still run four.
All ran four. Very well done by Nation, despite the injury. Wow, that's very well run.
Very well run. Very good fielding. Good effort all round. Good cricket.
That's what we want to see. As you mentioned, it's going to be very difficult to get someone out of a contract that they may be in now to join Windies by January, because we're at the end of September, so that's October, November, December.
Introducing
I
the
think what could happen is that someone will start filling the role almost immediately, but within the next 4 weeks. As this one is
introducing
popped up in the air.
Should be safe.
Safe.
The thing is, he's staying with the Windies team for India and Bangladesh. So if someone wanted, if you wanted a stopgap, as they say, it would be difficult, because you can't have two coaches. You can't have two head coaches, can you?
No. But I think someone doesn't necessarily have to be working with the team. They can start work outside of that team structure and start preparing.
So it's Mali. It's been a bit expensive now. She's gone for 21 and she's in the course of her third over. Well driven by Nation. She gets a single. She seems to be all right now. She's quite jogging through quite easily. Windies now up to 89 for 4.
Only 4 overs left. Good shot. Come back for 2.
Wow. That's well run again, and Shalene Nation is actually challenging DeAndre Dottin. This is wonderful.
Yeah, that's good stuff from Nation.
She's been aggressive. One, we would have thought that was merely a single, but she challenged the fielder. And Mali, under pressure, she actually attempted to run out without the ball.
Yeah, she's done very well there, both of them. That's in the air and caught. Very good catch. Sekune watched it land right in the palm of her hands, and despite a very good little cameo, you could say, from Dottin, she departs.
Score now 89 for 5, it would be. Dottin out for 22 of 19 balls. She struck 2 fours. The new batsman.
Marissa Aguilera.
Just 4 overs to go, Barry. Can we get as many as 40 runs in 4 overs, or 30 runs? Not as many.
Difficult.
Based on what we've seen
What
so
we've
far.
seen so far, it would be a miracle, because Nation can hit the ball, but you got to get going from ball 1, and Aguilera is not that kind of a batsman, so I think it'll be difficult. But hey, today could be her day.
And it's Marizanne Cap who's back. She's going to be bowling her 3rd over now.
I can't tell you how impressed I am with Marizanne Cap.
Yeah, she's definitely a big one of the big name players, and someone we should probably be looking out for during the World T20, which is coming very soon.
You know, South Africa now becomes my second team, because I've seen these girls, I've kind of familiarized myself with some of them. I now kind of will be watching keenly to see how they do. Although you would be perhaps silently rooting for the West Indies. Because you know, you've seen Vandy Kirk, you see her talent, you see the class of Laura Wolfhart.
And now we've fallen in love with
Sarah
Sekune.
Smith. Yeah, and Tumi Sekune.
Sekune. Oh, I think everyone is going to love her in the region when they get to see her.
Be careful with your choice of words. Falling in love.
Oh, well, hashtag me too. I call Donald Trump for that one, not me. Lizelle Lee kind of directing operations there from behind the stumps.
Good delivery. Very good delivery. It was a slow ball and she was tricked.
So they changed the field. Mali coming up into the circle. T20I going down towards the long off boundary.
That could be a bit of a risk. That's a very brave move.
You just get a single there. Question would be now, can West Indies defend 110, 115?
They'll have to bowl very, very well. From what I've seen from the South Africa team, they will have to
drop
bowl
one
very
bowler.
well.
Shakira Selman not playing today.
Yeah.
So well driven but well fielded again. So it's just another single. So not anything more than singles. It's 94 for 5. Just 2 balls left in the 17th over. Looking forward to some reaction from the pundits on the resignation of Stuart Laws, the Windies head coach. This is going to be a boundary. This is what Windies have been looking for. And as you mentioned, a brave move to bring Mali up into the circle, the 30-yard circle. And Nation was able to guide that one down towards third man. She picks up a boundary. 98 for 5.
Yeah, it wasn't the smartest thing, in my opinion, to move Mali from the third man boundary at this stage. You're going to get a single either way. They're going to run a single if it goes to Mali there. They're going to run a single if it goes to third man. If at third man, you're going to always also save the 4. But it didn't matter now because she's bowled. So Cat, very clever kind of bowler. Nation goes, and it means now that the West Indies have lost another wicket.
Wow. So it's now 98 for 6 at the end of the 17th over. Looks like Kaisi Knight heading out.
Perhaps it's a good time to bring back Kai Shota to get some secrets about what they might have discussed last night.
Oh, well. She did admit that her sister is not a fast scorer. So we won't see that. She builds, well, there's no time for building now.
The manager of the Barbados women's team is with us, Betty.
No time for building now, Betty.
She's a build. That's why she opens, but...
Well, we'll see. So Marissa Aguilera now has to take it. She's not a fast scorer, but she's been around long enough and experienced enough that she must know how to work the ball around. There's plenty of spaces out there, Look around, Marissa, plenty of spaces. Utilize it as Class comes back for her third over. She's bowled 2 overs for 11.
And that's in the air, and that's going to go down to the boundary. Will it get
reach.
there?
Yes, it will. That's
yes,
4
it
runs.
does. 4 runs. So you just said, Andrew, that she's been around. She's been around town long enough to get things going.
So that brings up the Windies 100 in the first ball of the 17th over. $100 up. Well driven by Aguilera down the onside, down to long. She only gets a single. Right, Right, so the 100 came up in 73 minutes of 109 balls with 10 fours. So it's pretty slow going by the Windies. There are 5 T20s in this series. So I think they'll have to bat much better in the next succeeding 4. They hope to get over this South African team, which looks pretty good and has looked pretty good in the field. Class. Knight, oh, beautiful shot from Garcia Knight. That's going to go to the boundary. A beautiful shot. Cover driven through the offside. 4 runs. So that's brilliant shot. So this over, productive one for Windies. The 110 I spoke about is now well within reach. 107 for 6.
Yeah, really good shot. Full toss, but she put it in the gap, and that's what you got to do with those full tosses.
Brilliant. So 107 for 6. Slight change in the field as we see a cover go onto the boundary now and the square leg come into the circle. She went for that one as well outside the off stump, made no contact. .107 for 6. Class in the course of her 3rd over, she'll probably bowl this over and then the final over, which will be her 4th. Driven by Knight down towards long off. Just a single. Umpires Jonathan Blades and Jacqueline Williams doing duties today. Leslie Reefer Jr., the more senior of the 3 umpires, is the 3rd man today. 3rd umpire today. Rion King, former Guyana and West Indies fast bowler, doing duties as match referee, and Barry looked very nattily attired earlier in his ICC jacket.
He must be very hot.
Well, that's what I said to him, but he was very proud to be wearing it, so he kept it on.
2 overs remain then, 108 for 6, so they should get more than 110. Not much more though.
Well, we'll see how much more. It's Aguilera and Kirsten Knight. Betty Lewis hoping for 125. That's 17 more runs. That's a lot of runs. So we shall see as who's going to, and it's Marizanne Cap who's going to bowl. So we know the capability of Cap. She's one of the marquee players, I think, that who will be promoting the ICC World T20 as it comes a call into the Caribbean. Guyana, St. Lucia, the finals in Antigua at the Sir Vivian Richards Cricket Stadium at North Sound in Trinidad, well outside of St. John's. Good drive out of St. John's. You've taken that drive a few times, Barry.
Yeah, but I don't find it's all that far. I mean, without traffic, 15 minutes?
Yeah, probably about 15 minutes.
You've lived there, Andrew?
Yeah, I lived there and I used to travel up that way on occasion.
But when you were there, Andrew, that stadium wasn't built yet?
No, it was built for the World Cup. 2007, it was the ARG where you just stepped out of the office and walked to the ARG.
Walked to the ARG.
You didn't need to drive down there at all. Good delivery from Cap. Puts Knight in trouble. Knight is barely able to just push it back down the pitch.
You know, the thing about it is the West Indies women would have had many other options to play players. Who are the other options?
Well, the other options are
Kiana Joseph,
Karisha Ramharak, and Shanita Grimon and Kiana Joseph.
I would have given Kiana Joseph a shot. She's a young talent. She's only 17. I would have given her a shot. Perhaps she will see her way through in their 5 games. So
yeah, there are lots of cricket. And what's interesting, I don't think the Windies squad has actually been selected for the World Cup.
No, none of the squads have been chosen.
So some of these players, especially someone like Shadian Nation and Natasha McLean, who are kind of fringe players, will be hoping that they can make the squad. Cap shortens a run, and there goes Lizelle Lee again, directing action from behind the stumps. Smashes that one. So Aguilera, they should get 2. Come on. They get 2 runs. So that's 111. 111 for 6. Yeah, Nelson. I don't believe in any of those things, so I don't have that difficulty. That's well struck, but she should come around. So it's going to be only one.
They should come out for 2 there. That was 2.
Too well struck. They've only got a single.
The thing is, you got to put the pressure on the fielder. Let the fielder feel the pressure. At this stage, even if you're run out, you have to go for it.
There are only 8 balls left. Cap with that distinctive bun in the top of her head. She bowls to Knight. Knight swings this one. It's going to go into the boundary.
I think that's 6.
Signal 4 by umpire Jonathan Blades.
I could have sworn that actually hit the rope.
I think we have a slight replay. We might get the replay. But he was very quick to signal 4, and he's not asked for any discussion. So they're not asking for any discussion. So it's 4 runs. Oh, here we go. We get to see the replay. Where does that ball land, Barry? Oh, we're not sure.
It's too fast.
Too fast.
Let's have a look again. They are replaying it, although the cricket continues.
It's just a single.
These things are important because if the West Indies lose by 2 runs,
then it's the end of the over. It's 117 for 6.
The first ever standalone ICC Women's World 2020 is coming to the West Indies November 9th through the 24th. Tune in to watch as history is made. Get the full schedule at icc-cricket.com/World 2020.
Who's on 11 off 7 balls, so she's done well. You see South Africa changing up the field now. We have a deep cover on the offside. Then we have a wide gully, point, mid off, and a long off. And driven by Knight towards the cover boundary. They just get 1 run. They're not challenging the fielders. Marissa Aguilera now to face Class. 118 for 6. Driven. If he had struck the stump, she might have been run out. $119 for 6. As Knight faces Class. Hits that one high in the air. It's going to be safe. It's probably just a single. They're not challenging the fielders, so it's just another single. 120 for 6. 3 balls to go. Oh, Aguilera could have been run out there if Class had picked up that ball properly. She didn't. So it's just another single. So this over riddled with singles.
Yeah, just 2 balls left.
The ground staff gets ready to come and do their work in the break. Not that there's any rain coming. They're just going to tidy up the pitch. Driven by Knight down towards long off. Another single.
She's hit the ball pretty hard though. You got to tell
she's
you.
always found the fielders.
Yeah, she's always found it. Except for that boundary.
Yeah. She's now 14 off 10 deliveries. Aguilera is on 12 off 9 deliveries. 122 for 6. That's the total they'll have to defend. Aguilera hits that one high into the air. They must run 2 runs. She gets home quite easily. So 124 for 6. That's the Windies total. A top score of 38 from Natasha McLean, 22 from Deandra Doughton, and 14 not out each from Marissa Aguilera and Kaisian Dyte. Bowling department, Sarah Smith took 2 for 17. Zintley Mali 2 for 24. Windies 124 at 20 overs. They just struck 12 fours. So that's it at the moment. Windies 124 for 6 in their 20 overs. South Africa will have 125 to win. Should be an interesting game. We don't think it's enough runs, but we shall see what we shall see when we're back in just about 10 to 15 minutes. Of Knight through that position in the offside. From Knight through that position in the offside. And she goes for it again. This one will probably go to the boundary. Cuts this one, a cut drive literally down towards the couple point boundary into Matthews. Drives this one onto the onside. That's going to be 4 runs. The ball was drifting on the onside and Matthews went with it and picked up an easy 4 down towards the square leg, the mid-wicket square leg area. Knight comes forward and she's given as a raucous appeal from Marizanne Cap. And Barbados, West Indies that is, loses their first wicket. Joel Garner into Matthews. Matthews drives this one straight back past the bowler down to the boundary. Matthews pulls this one full over towards the deep mid-wicket area. It looks like it's gone for 4 runs. Cap, oh, and that's a inside edge for Taylor. She gets off the mark with a 4, but the fortuitous 4 runs.
A much team match preparation as possible, and that's a real going over the top, and that's actually Hayley Matthews, Adil Rashid, Ben Stokes, Ollie Stone, and Chris Rose. As that delivery is struck beautifully backward of point, and that's going to go into the boundary for 4.
Games now between. Oh, nice shot by Matthews. That's 4 runs.
Yeah, that's 4. Tickled. She tickled that fine. Classy shot. Very classy shot from Hayley Matthews. And that's going to go for 4. It is it.
That's for a minute here. Bringing us. Oh, that's gone.
That's a big shot. That's gone for.
Nice shot. Look at that. Matthews. Wow. 4 more.
Just doesn't work for you.
Yes, yes.
So I guess she has to go back into training and put in a little more effort into.
And that's the half century there for Hayley Matthews.
You must be pleased with what you're seeing in terms of the competitive nature of the series between South Africa and the West Indies and Windies.
Yes, it's sort of like the perfect build-up to the ICC Women's World T20s, what we were looking for.
Susie Bates from New Zealand.
Correct. Excellent. Correct. All the major ICC sponsors are also sponsors of women's cricket. But for this tournament in the Caribbean, we also have a few regional sponsors and partners. Antigua and Barbados.
I'm not seeing any of it on television. As Matthews goes aerially, she's going to get 4 more for that, which will take her to 88, obviously with him.
Yeah, he got it. Beautiful shot by Taylor for 4.
3-figure mark.
3-figure mark, and she has it.
Yeah. All right. That's a big hit. And
Stays it back.
oh, that's clever. So you can imagine that's why they stop. Oh. That's a good hit.
Shot.
That's gone straight. That's gone for 4. In the middle, between the long on and long off. Sensible cricket.
That was a wild. That third downfall.
Yeah, it was a wide one.
And Zintlin Mali comes in for the first. Runaway defending champions. Toomey, Tickle, fine.
Oh, that is well struck.
That's gone.
And that is another. Athletic attempt to regain a ground by Campbell. So this has been an entertainment package and a half. Bottom goes to 50. 35, the fastest half century for West Indies at Kensington Oval. Oh. She's showing that she is world class in quality. Oh, this is beautiful.
Big. 282 for 5. That's wide. More extras will take West Indies beyond what Philip was anticipating at the start of this over. So that was the last ball. They get a leg by to take the score to 292 for 5. It's an outstanding total by West Indies.
Cut it again and this time. Why they have 2 fielders there, and just as you made the point that Lee likes to cut, and I said, well, if she's going to cut, it means that Selman has to set her up, and she has, for the third time. This time she's classed the catch. It's a catch there at the backward point area. For the third time, for the second time in 3 games, Lee goes caught at point.
That's a beautiful shot.
That's a lovely shot. That's gone to the long on boundary for 4.
And that's so sharp ball on just outside off stump. She tried to pull it right back to the bowler. Caught and bowled by Shamia. And with that, I think more girls will, when girls see that happening, more girls may get interested and want to play. So a combined team probably entering to the Henry Griffith.
That's another lovely shot. That's going to go down to the boundary.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, you should know my heart.
What's that?
Is it? I don't say this.
Yes.
And welcome back, and it's going to be Shamilia Connell. She's going to have the first chance to see if West Indies can defend what is a modest 125 to win, which they have set the South Africans. And it looks like Faye Tunnicliffe. No, it's going to be Lizelle Lee. Sorry, my mistake. Lizelle Lee facing, and it's going to be Laura Wolvart.
Yeah, Wolvart and
Lee.
Lee?
And Lizelle Lee looks pretty strong. So
yeah, she likes the cut shot. She's been out 3 times, caught at point to that cut shot and dropped once, so it could have been 4 and 4. Great shot. Well, 2 and 3 rather. It's gone through the extra covers. And as expected, short outside the line of the off stump. I thought that was a wide.
I think I saw Lizelle Lee look across at umpire Jonathan Blades, probably wondering, why is that not a wide, umpire? So the fielder in position at point now, DeAndre Dottin at cover point. Is that Anissa Mohammed I see in the area of a wide gully, and she cuts as anticipated down towards cover. So they're off and running, 1 without loss.
Yeah, she was actually out caught 3 times. The first game though was the warm-up game.
Oh, okay.
And then there were the 2 ODIs that they would have batted. She was out caught as well at point. So,
some changes here. 2 slips. Wow. Interesting.
2 slips in the 3rd man. Shamilia Connell, how much has she improved? She has done so much work on her game as a bowler, fielder. Very impressive.
A lot of work with bowling coach Roddy Estwick.
Just turn it on in the last 10 minutes. Now, you know, I must tell all of our viewers, I have a soft spot for Laura Wolvart. She, to me, she reminds me a lot of Hayley Matthews. Very classy. A very classy kind of player, Andrew. She's a top notch. And she's young. She has over 1,300 runs already.
So another player to watch in the World T20.
For sure. That's in the air. And the wicket number 1 for the West Indies. Again, Lee falls, not to the cut shot, but Shamilia Connell gets her because we've seen her showing some vulnerability to perhaps give you a chance early, and she's done that yet again. And the Windies women get an early wicket.
So it's 2 for 1, Lizelle Lee, caught by, looks like Natasha McLean there fielding at the mid-off area. So she's gone for 1, and it's 2 for 1. Caught by McLean off Shamilia Connell. We're still in the course of the first over. Good breakthrough by Windies, and that's important. They're only defending 125 runs, so that's important. New batsman has come to the crease is Robin Searle. Haven't seen too much of her before. Robin Searle, Barry, you know anything about her? I think she's playing her first game on the tour.
No, I don't know much about her, but I know she's not very experienced, so we'll look to see what she has to offer early in her career.
Connell looking to pick another pepper, obviously.
She goes up to 76. Her high score, like I said, is 95. This could be a run out. Oh, they've hit their rect and they're appealing.
That's the captain.
And that's the captain. I don't even think she waited for the decision. So that's the captain, and I dare say that's the game. Oh, what's that?
Slipped.
Good ball. On a quick delivery. That's the end of over number 1. South Africa in pursuit of 125 for victory, and this is the first T20. They are 2 for 1.
Oh, that's a big shot to LBW. Oh, she's bowled her. Oh, she's bowled her. So that's it. Victory for the West Indies women.
Interesting move here. The new bowler from the Malcolm Marshall end, it's going to be Hayley Matthews. So a bit of experimentation here from Stephanie Taylor. Matthews, who didn't bowl in the previous encounter, the One Day International, has been given the opportunity to bowl with the new ball in the power play. So it's the second over of the innings. 2 for 1.
Yeah, not for the first time we've seen Hayley Matthews open in T20 cricket. She has been used before. She was used in a couple of World Cup games in 2016.
Getting the field right. She's moving around. Anisa Mohammed going out towards the umpire at square leg. So there's no slip, no gully, just a point. And she's short. Three for 1 in the course of this second over. Matthews having a little chat with their captain, Stephanie Taylor, for the ball relayed via Shamelia Connell.
That's going to go down to third man. Dottin should put it back. Interestingly enough, Hayley Matthews, she bowls in her cap.
We see a few cricketers now keeping the cap on when they're bowling.
Back in the day, that was unheard of.
No, I think the umpires would tell you to take off your cap. Nice
She won't
shot.
get that. No one will get that. That's going to be 4. Beaten Dottin at backward point, and a boundary there to the South Africans, and the classy Wolvert picks up 4.
10 for 1 after 2, and the South Africa Good position after 2 overs. They're 10 for 1. Connell in the course of her second over. The rate achieved at the moment 4.6, the rate required 6.4. Down to third man, well guided, that's just a single. Searle moves on to 4. Wilwart is on 6. 11 for 1. South Africans know that if they bat the 20 overs, they should get these runs. That's the key to a small total in a T20. If you bat the overs, just overrun a ball. Quicker delivery from Connell through to wicketkeeper Aguilera. That's the end of her second over. She's got figures of 2 overs, no man, and 1 for 4. She's done well so far. After 3 overs, the South Africans in pursuit of 125. They're 12 for 1.
Introducing
Again,
the
interestingly,
all-new 500 ml Eco Bottle from Blue Waters. It's easy to open and full of great-tasting sodium-free artesian well water that doesn't spill when you open it, thanks to its wide mouth design. So grab one today. Life is better with Blue Waters.
Looked menacing in the first over that she would have continued. We've also seen Stephanie Taylor open the bowling as well already in T20s for the West Indies, so I'm not surprised by this move at all.
she is the big player in the team, the main player, in fact, rated as one of the best all-rounders in women's cricket. In fact, at one stage rated #1 for quite some time. So 12 for 1, we have a cover on the boundary. Point, mid-off, cover point, mid-off on the boundary. The delivery pops up, beats Laura Woltehart. So we see a change immediately, and Anisa Mohammed comes into first slip.
There's nothing like watching an attractive cricketer, Andrew, batting. You know, we used to love to see Carl Hooper. Many believe that he underachieved, and perhaps he did. Because when you look at his talent potential, how he used to score runs, you wonder how come he couldn't get 100 every innings. And when you look at Laura Wolvart, she's very attractive to watch as a batsman.
Taylor, driven. Robin Searle down towards long off for a single. Barry's favorite batsman now on strike.
Oh, she's stumped.
Gone.
Yes, yep. She is. A good piece of stumping too, and a good delivery, because Stephanie Taylor dangled the carrot, Andrew. She dangled it, and Wolvart accepted, and perhaps I put the curse on her, because she's accepted there, going for the big drive, and a good piece of stumping there from Marissa Aguilera. Full credit to the Windies women there for that.
A sharp dismissal, for sure. A sharp dismissal. Sharp dismissal, and Marissa Aguilera did very well there with that stumping. New batsman is Megan Dupree, South Africa. 14 for 2. We're in the course of the 4th over. 14 for 2. Stephanie Taylor is striking in her first over. That's important. Wolvart is gone for 8. Struck 1-4. End of the 4th over, looks like, yeah. So it's 14 for 1 after 4 overs. South Africa women in pursuit of 125 victory. Immediately, DeAndre Doughton is going to come in from this end, the Joel Garner end. It's the Sandals Resorts International Home Series. Windies women against South Africa women is the first of the T20s. There are 5 of them, 1 being played in Barbados, the other 4 being played in Trinidad and Tobago at the Brian Lara Stadium. Still juggling around the field. See Matthews now coming from the offside back onto the onside. Starts with a wide. Should try again, starting with a wide. It's another wide by Doughton. Radar all wrong at this stage. Can't afford to give away too many of these wides. They're not playing with a whole lot of runs. 16 for 2 now is the score.
Yeah, Andrew, I agree. They're not playing with all the runs on the board, so they have to be tight, very tight, a bit more concise if you want to use that particular adjective. As that deliveries, I thought it hit her on the pad. I thought there was somewhat of an appeal.
still 16 for 2. The course of the 5th over. Target 125.
Our good friend David Harris.
He'll soon join us. He's going to make a comment or two. He shakes his head vehemently. Don't know why. He's afraid of the microphone. He ought not to be afraid of the microphone. David, I brought you in because I'm sure you've heard the biggest news in international cricket today. Stuart Law has resigned as head coach of the West Indies team.
Is it the biggest news in international cricket, Andrew, or is it the most expected news in international cricket?
I don't know. You said you expected it. Where did you had an inkling?
Not really, but there are occasions where one got the impression that there were times when one got the impression that maybe Law was not too happy with his position as coach. There were times when clearly during the interviews he appeared to be just talking without really believing what he was saying.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm not totally surprised that he has resigned from the position. What I'm surprised at that he resigned just as on the eve of a test series.
Yeah, I mean the West Indies team already in India, or on their way to India, and he's staying on for the India and Bangladesh tour, and then leaving just at the start, just before the England tour. It just seems, the timing just seems all wrong.
Yeah, the timing is wrong. So it seemed that he made up his mind, it was a done deal, and he gave the WICB almost no time to select a coach for what is an important series.
Yes, you're correct. Just to mention, it's 21 for 2. Windies seem to have to strangle the South Africans here at the moment as we move back to the cricket, David.
Yeah, well, originally the South Africans also strangled the West Indies ladies, so it seemed to be a bit tit for tat here. Certainly though, the West Indies performance after winning the ICC T20 championship 3 years ago has been
2
years ago has been rather awful. One would hope that they show some kind of, promise in this series.
Well, it's important, yeah. I mean, they get ready. They're at home, defending champions, giving South Africa an opportunity to get accustomed to the conditions here in the Caribbean. So it's going to be important that we stamp our authority against them as early as possible.
Yeah, with the Women's T20 World Cup coming up in a couple of months here in the Caribbean. Well, let me ask you a question, though. Do you think that the WICB would move past a foreign coach?
Well, we had a discussion here earlier, and while we would hope that they could go back to Otis Gibson type situation, a homegrown coach who has done well internationally. There are others who are around We've had 2 bites at that. We've had a Phil Simmons, we've had Otis Gibson, and both ended rather abruptly. And now we've had Stuart Law, who has terminated himself also abruptly. So you're not sure what's going to happen next.
But you know, prior to Law, Bennett King.
Oh yeah, way back in time.
And Rickson also left kind of abrupt.
Yes.
Right.
And I mean, we are playing India in India. Best test team in the world, or one of at the moment, in their backyard with the best batsman in the world by any discussion, coming in at number 3. And our pace attack, not really the greatest.
Well, I would hope though that I don't expect the Windies to win, but certainly I would hope that players make their mark in the series. Now if you get players making their mark in the series, clearly things should work out okay for the team, but in the series.
This is what luxury included feels like. Chefs are creating masterpieces. The staff is putting their finishing touches. Bartenders are shaking things up. Butlers are preparing for your arrival. When can we expect you? Sandals, the world's only 5-star luxury included resorts.
Issa Mohammed, the #1 spinner on the Windies lineup, and at one stage she was regarded as the #1 spinner in T20 cricket. She's gone off the boil a bit of late, but we would want to believe or want to hope that she could come back into her own during this series as we get ready for the World T20.
She bowled comparatively well in the ODIs here. T20 might be her forte, so most likely she should give a good account of herself. It was nice to see Haley Matthews bowling earlier.
Yeah, she didn't bowl too much in the one-day series.
I don't think she bowled
at all. So right. It was to come on first. That was interesting.
Yeah, and in the last ODI match, she had a bit of problem with her right hand, which one felt that might even impede her or restricted her as a bowler even more. So it was nice. Remember, initially she was thought of as
all-rounder.
Yeah, and then she was promoted up the order.
Well done, Stefani Taylor. Well picked up and almost run out there. That's what we want to see. That's what the kind of energy you want to see from your cricketers.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of energy on the field. Even in the first ODI, which the West Indies lost, and there was a bubble hype around the fielders, and they feel well. The batting let them down a bit in the first ODI. They never got the opportunity to bat in the second. Then they were fairly explosive in the third and final ODI, and once more today the batting faltered. I think we were about 52 for 2 at the end of the first 10 overs.
Yep, yeah. So now it's 28 for 2. That's Mohammed has completed 29 for 2. In fact, has completed the first over, just 3 runs. The Sandals Resort International Series. This series is that as well, but the Sandals Resorts International Series versus England next year, and I must tell
ml Eco Bottle from Blue Waters. It's easy to open and full of great tasting sodium-free artesian well water that doesn't spill when you open it, thanks to its wide mouth design. So grab one today. Life is better with Blue Waters.
I can even through finance, the government in general will be jumping up and down some well-needed new foreign resort exchange.
Oh yes, some of the boxes are already taken, so the Brits are coming as usual.
Yeah, but then we need the foreign exchange, yes, but would Kensington look like Lords?
Well, we're gonna soon find out. Well, it's the Mecca in the region, so we will see. Safi Fletcher, another change of bowling. Short, Well picked up by DeAndre Doughton. Oh, beautiful cricket there.
You know, Doughton shows athletic skills on the field, a former top athlete. And she shows her athletic progress on the field from almost every time.
$29 for 2 is the score. The 8th over. Andrew Seeley here. Now it's next to me, veteran Barbadian journalist David Harris.
Now what
who's
makes you a
watched
veteran?
all of this cricket. Once you're over 40, you're a veteran in this field.
Okay, I thought
over 50.
I thought watching cricket made you a veteran.
But what's that? I think she's run out.
I think
we missed that. She's run out. She went for.
I think the ball was loft to mid-on. The ball was loft to mid-on, and the mid-on fielder picked it up and ran her out.
Yes, so it's a good feeling. So Windies at this stage now, the game is pretty close as we see the captain for today, Chloe Tryon, coming out. McLean and Fletcher, Natasha McLean and Afri Fletcher.
Yeah, she was ran out.
Are taking charge. So there you go. So the action is now probably more surprising than we thought. So that 124 that we were looking at,
starting to look challenging, huh?
It looks like a mountain because the current run rate is now 3.87.
Initially it was 6.2.
Yeah, they're now looking for 125. So it's interesting. Charlene Tate is joining us in the commentary position shortly. Former member of the Barbados team. As Afri Fletcher continues, it's her first over. Oh, that one is short, driven towards the mid-wicket region. Strong throw. They could get an extra single. Oh, bad cricket by Windies. They didn't anticipate that they would have taken off for the second run.
Fletcher, a leg spinner, and as most leg spinners do, from time to time have problems flighting the ball. And that one was rather full pitch.
Fletcher. Mignon Dupree is the new batsman. She's on 6, sorry, she's been there a while. Chloe Tryon is the new batsman. She cuts this one down towards the Andrew Doughton. So you were talking about whether Kensington Oval will resemble Lord's next year, January, especially since we found out that some of the corporate boxes have already been taken up.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can't have it both ways, though. Certainly, you can't have the money pouring into the economy, but you'd expect, though, some kind of equal or reasonable distribution of ticket sales.
Well, the president of the BCA did encourage Barbadians and West Indians alike to get their tickets as early as possible. There will be an allocation, and if the allocation is not taken up early, then it's going to be put back in the pool.
Get your tickets as early as possible. I know the president is a Barbadian. I know he's a West Indian. But was he speaking like a West Indian or Barbadian?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. You'd have to tell me.
We are not known for, West Indians are not known for purchasing tickets early.
So what are they going to do?
Yeah. But But it should be an exciting tour, and hopefully the West Indies will perform well.
Good delivery by Mohammed, and as you mentioned, she does appear as if she's coming back into her own.
Yeah, she's flighting well, and the ball is bouncing a bit. She's getting a lot of bounce and some turn.
At the end of this over, we're going to have a double change. Barry's going to join you with Charlene Tate. I'll come back towards the end. Cut, no third man, so that's unfortunate. That's probably going to make its way to the boundary quickly. No, she can't save it. So that's 4 runs, 2. Mignon Dupree, she moves on to 8. So it's now 40 for 3. 40 for 3. Chasing 125. Mohammed is driven back down the pitch. It's a dot ball, so that's the end of 9 overs. David is going to join me as we come back probably about the 15th over, but at this time it's going to be Barry Wilkinson, and he'll be joined by Charlene Tate.
Thank you so much, Andrew and David. So Afli Fletcher is going to come on. She's bowled 1 over for 4 runs so far. And as I say hello to Charlene, we get the impression that this has to be a key moment for the South Africans, because they are allowing the run rate to perhaps just creep up like what happened the other night in the 50 over match.
Good afternoon. Yes, it is a critical part here right now.
And that's another boundary for the South Africans, much needed. 4 runs, and they'll be happy with that.
This is also a good, this will be a crucial partnership here for them as well. Have Chloe Trayon and Mignon Dupree at the crease. Right now they're doing a pretty good job.
Yes, as usual.
Yes, because they had a couple boundaries already.
She's cracked that.
That's another boundary.
Yeah, that's gone through backward square for 4. It was full, but you still had to be careful and execute that shot well, because we saw the captain of the West Indies team. She was bowled by kind of a full toss, and then we also saw Nation. She was also bowled by something similar.
Yes. I think this one was a little fuller. So
was it Nation or Campbell? I think it was Nation.
Gotta be Nation. Campbell was also bowled as well.
So Chloe Tyrone, she's the captain today. She's going to want to do something special for her team.
And she's going along pretty well. 11 from 7 balls.
Yeah, she's got 11 from 7. They're appealing for a catch at the wicket, and they've got her. So wicket goes, and South Africa now in a spot of bother.
Yes, I thought that this would be a crucial partnership for them, because these two have been playing for a while.
Yeah, not only were they playing, they were actually scoring, which is important. But that wicket now will peg them back. They'll try and look at something different now in terms of their strategy. But another wicket goes, and South Africa now have lost 4. It's now 49 for 4 in over number 10. So 49 now for 4. The new batsman is Tunnicliffe. Faye Tunnicliffe. Her first delivery outside the line of the off stump. Credit there to Fletcher. I will tell you, Charlene, that I was really impressed with how she bowled in that last 50 over game. And what I just saw was just a continuation of her bowling well recently. She's been definitely bowling quite well.
Yes, once she's spotting that ball, it's very hard to play her. Yes, you will get that odd full toss, but as you said, last game she had the ball spinning, turning, bouncing. She really did well, and she continues here today.
Two easy runs. The effort there from Campbell was good and bad because Welsh also parried it into no man's land. Or if you want to be politically correct, no woman's land. So we want to thank the lovely Betty Lewis for doing a great job in assisting us, and also Amanda Reefer, two very great stalwarts of women's cricket. We look forward to a big initiation from them. The program at the UWI going quite well, and we want to see more women get into that program. I want to see a bit more from Anita. For me, it's like if Anisa Muhammad came on the scene as this assessment.
Yeah, she hasn't been taking a lot of wickets lately, but you know, she's the most capped player with the most wickets as well. But we haven't really heard a lot about her in the wickets part.
So another over bites the dust. 53 for 4. We still have Tyrone there, the captain today, 14, and Tunnicliffe is 1. And joining us, while Charlene remains, we're going to talk to Amanda Reefer, who is, of course, in charge of that program at the UWI. Amanda, how are you doing? It's good to see you.
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Barry?
I'm doing very well. I want to just talk a little bit about women's cricket. It's developing, it's growing. What is being done to get some young talent emerge in Barbados and for the West Indies?
Well, you know, we recently launched Pace Like Fire, which was an initiative created with the KFL Academy of Sport, designed to identify the fastest male and female bowlers across the region. Identifying the raw talent was phase 1.
There's another single there. They'll just get one for that, you were saying?
Yeah, so we went to 6 territories. We have Jamaica to finish off, and we found some really very good female bowlers with raw pace. So the idea is to bring them to KFL for the next 2 years and develop their skills, and then split them up for the franchises and West Indies cricket and national teams. So that's one of the more recent initiatives.
Yeah, that's a good initiative, because I was saying to Charlene, it's important that young women play the game as much as possible from very early, so we will have the future of women's cricket very safe, because I think that's the worry from everyone. How do you feel?
I think that kudos to the board and the respective franchises around trying to do as much as they can, but I mean there needs to be a very serious intent as it relates to developing the game, marketing the sport, and utilizing the stalwarts we have in female cricket to really inspire others and create those opportunities for those stories to be told. And I think that a lot more has to be done in that regard.
Yes, well said, very well said, Amanda Reef, of course. I must tell you that Amanda is speaking also from a bit of authority and cricket in blood. Her husband, she wants to be modest about it, her husband and the former West Indies captain, now Windies A coach, is Floyd Reefer, so you must discuss cricket a lot on your own.
Definitely. My son, who's 18, he loves the game as well. He's a leg spinner, so you can appreciate that the channel that we watch is always a cricket channel that's on in the house, and there's always cricket discussions.
That's a good start. Well fielded again there by young Deandra Dotton. She's only 27, you know. Deandra is not an old girl at all, but she's been playing for. Yeah, she also plays for the New Blackbirds. Athletic, hits the ball hard, bowls well. Good.
A costly sport. The gear is expensive, but I don't think that money should stop you or inhibit you from following your dream and your passion. There are a lot of people around that are willing to support companies, individuals, so it's just to find the will and the intent, and you get the support. Passion is important, though.
Yeah, I agree with that, because you know, too often we hear West Indies cricketers are accused of cricketers perhaps going after what they might consider to be the good. You know, I say to everyone, someone like LeBron James, he doesn't need any more money, but this man doesn't want to quit. He's invested all his money. He's close to being a billionaire, but he still wants to play basketball. He's now to his 6th franchise. So you need to get cricketers with that kind of passion.
I think it's important for all sports people, but we're talking female cricket here, to identify your purpose. You know, where are you playing the game, and understanding where you're playing the game. The money will come when you excel at your sport, and there's sustainability with the passion and with hard work. So money is important, yes.
As that one is hot. Yeah, you.
With your purpose, your passion, and the money will follow.
And I know Charlene doesn't have to tell us the figures, but now.
Not as much as the men,
no.
Like the West Indies, but Australia's doing pretty well, England. But with West Indies now, it's still more could still be done.
Well, in fairness to the women play less than the men. But I take your point. For example, this year was the first year in the US Open, that's in tennis I'm talking about, where the women were equality goal is concerned. You don't want to undervalue the women at all.
I think that the conversation about equality in sports, and especially as it relates to pay and remuneration, is a conversation had across all industries, really. From entertainment, you would have heard recently the actresses in Hollywood speak out about it. So it is a conversation being had. But I believe that if we are serious about the sport, buying TV rights and all of the different other factors that go into valuing a particular team, we get tremendous value when our players go there, our females go there and win the ICC World Cup or win a T20 World Cup. So we have to determine to what extent do we invest so that we can reap the benefits, and there's intangible benefits to that as well. So I believe that
this is what luxury included feels like. Chefs are creating masterpieces. The staff is putting their finishing touches. Bartenders are shaking things up. Butlers are preparing for your arrival. When can we expect you?
65 for 4.
Sandals.
The target is 125, so you're talking about another 55 runs to score. Do you think, Amanda, that they can win this? They need 59 actually to win. Do you think they can do it?
Well, my money is on the Windies. My money is on the Windies.
Another chance to miss that.
Definitely, the team is doing very well, and I should mention, Barry, that I was approached by Cricket West Indies to become a patron for the upcoming Women's World Cup in the Caribbean.
What would that entail?
Really promoting it, endorsing and using our own platforms, our personal platforms. Myself and Pat Greenwich from Barbados have been asked, and so it's really an honor. I'm very humbled by it. But so I've been using my Instagram and also within, my own spheres to promote the competition that's coming up. Very excited about it.
Yes, it's a pity that none of the games are being played here in Barbados. I know that your influence would have been big here. I just wait to see that the ticket prices are fantastic. The ticket prices are as good as they'll get. They're next to being free. I mean, $3 for the group games, and you're getting a triple headers. You're not even getting one match per day. You're getting 3 matches per day in most instances.
I have a problem with that. I mean, this is just my own opinion, my humble opinion. I do not believe in underselling. I think that if you go too cheap, this is as a marketer now. If you go too cheap, that's borderline saying coming free. I mean, it has no value. I think that people should pay, yes, a reasonable fee, but I still think you still have, as the organizers, to make money from it, and also to the brand is associated partly with the pricing, so it is to me a little too cheap. I don't know what you think about that.
Well, I'll tell you this much.
We'll see if they get more people coming out because of it. I mean, they may have the approach where they say it's just to get bums in seats, and if it works and you get people exposed more to the game and to female cricket, then fine. But just from a marketing standpoint and in my schooling, too cheap sometimes is it have this saying, too cheap no good?
Well, having been to the South Africa, in Sri Lanka, and then I went to the one in India, and there were two.
This is what luxury included feels like. Chefs are creating masterpieces. The staff is putting their finishing touches. Bartenders are shaking things up. Butlers are preparing for your arrival. When can we expect you? Sandals, the world's only 5-star luxury included resorts.
I mean, that's just an opinion, but it is for the experts to decide what they think is best, and of course, I support whatever decisions.
Yeah, we look forward to it. I'll be heading to St. Lucia, Guyana. So Charlene, this delivery is played beautifully through mid-wicket for just one. Charlene Tate was going to just tell me that she's booked her flights already for St. Lucia and Guyana. She'll be going down to watch it, and she's going to go to Antigua once the West Indies women are in the final. Well, we're going to see Shamila Connell continue the attack now. 2 overs. I'm sorry for the South Africans, but we're not going to see single.
But no, just one, not even 2. So yeah, we definitely need some boundaries, a lot of them. 55 runs to win.
The problem is that these 2 players are not known to be, well, perhaps Cap, she can take a swing, but Tuncliffe, she's not known to be a hitter. She's more of a timer of the ball.
I don't know much about her.
Yeah, when I look at the gaps, the field is very well set. Third man, sweeper, mid wicket on the boundary. So where she's going to find that 4 back with a square, perhaps? She's not going to get it there. That gap is very well plugged. There's also a long on. Where can she find the boundary?
She would have to find it at long off, because mid off is up.
Yeah, Charlene McLean is
over
there.
Extra cover. Well, once the ball is there to be played in those areas.
Good delivery. This young lady, I continue to say, has improved so much. Shamila Connell, when she started, she was just a raw talent.
Yes, she was.
But now she's developed into the main bowler. She's the main strike bowler for the Windies, and she's done a very good job.
I think I can say that this is actually one of the best times I've actually seen her bowl. She also has a big fan club. She's just from a stone's throw away from here, isn't she? Yes. Country Road.
So it's like when Rihanna performed here. She just had all her friends and fans from Westbury. All right, so 72 for 5 overs left. The equation is 53 runs, but the required run rate is 10.6, and they're only going at 4.8. So Windies women here are well set. The captain is going to come back. She's only bowled 1 over, but she's taken a wicket. Only conceded 2 runs. You're a big Stephanie Taylor fan?
Definitely. She's been around for a very good leader, and that's important when you have young, talented players around you. A good leader is important. So.
Yeah, she's a fantastic leader. She's done well for herself as a Windies cricketing icon. That's in the air, but just falling short of the vice captain, is it? No, that's
Nation.
Shili Nation at mid-off. If she was perhaps 3 steps in, they would have offered her a catch.
She thought it was coming to her, but actually bounced in front of her. .28 balls, 52 runs. Need some boundaries here.
Yeah, good cricket, keeping the pressure on. This is where we see that the South African women have been a bit weak. They haven't been able to get anyone to come in and hit.
We haven't seen the bowler Smith, so we don't know what she has, but I think from now on, who's coming will be just bowlers.
Yeah, that's the problem for the South Africans. Male, Sikune, for all the exuberance that she possessed, she's not a hitter.
The balls are just finding each fielder.
So more pressure now. 4 overs remaining. The required run rate has skied to 12.5. 50 runs needed from 24 balls. That's a lot of work to be done. 2 runs a ball, and no one is hitting 4s, and I dare say not even a 6. That would be a dream come true for the South Africans at this stage.
You're barely getting a single, so it's hard out there. Now DeAndre Dottin is into the attack, so it's going to be even harder.
Yeah, DeAndre Dottin now coming on to the attack. She has bowled 1 over already for 7 runs. Only Mohammed and Fletcher have bowled out. Fletcher 2 for 17 from her 4. She's carved that well. It wouldn't get to the boundary though. Mohammed 4 overs, no maidens, none for 24. And still have Colin with the over left. Matthews with 2 if she wanted to, but with only 3 overs left after this, she wouldn't get those in. Taylor has 2 as well, so the captain has options. Just another single. They won't mind that. They will not mind the singles. And what Stephanie Tell has done is that she's maintained the same field, which is keeping pressure on making them get to the boundary. So if they want the singles here, take them. That's fine. But she has not brought the fielders in to try and take wickets. She doesn't need to take any wickets.
No, she doesn't. So just bowl. That's a fantastic shot.
So 83 for 5, another single. As I say, a special hello to the West Indies captain who's watching. I'm talking about the men's captain now, Jason Holder. I think he's in Dubai. Hello to you, Jason. I just got a WhatsApp there from him. So hello to you wherever you are watching this around the world. Quite a number of persons are watching. And it's a game that the West Indies women should win, but we wait and see. They need now 41 from 18 balls. With her thoughts and comments on the game, here's current player Charlene Tate.
I don't see them getting to this 41. Runs are very hard to come by. Taylor is back into the attack, and she's been keeping it tight. But the South Africans need to find the boundary.
Thought that was an appeal. Nope, no such.
thought it was a dragged on.
Yeah. No, the reaction from the keeper wasn't convincing enough. We also must thank Carol Beckford for Windies Cricket West Indies, and Richard Berridge. They've, of course, had the foresight and vision to make sure that these matches are well seen throughout not only Caribbean but the entire world, and that's important. And Bell's imagery have complimented them with doing a very good job with the video and camera work. Well done. There to young Graham Bell, the aspiring politician. That's got through, but they still wouldn't get 4 for that. So Charlie, when is your next assignment cricket-wise?
We are playing on Saturdays in the Division 2 competition.
That's in the year, but still they wouldn't get the boundary, so just another single. And your next game is against who?
We played yesterday Wim.
Oh, you're playing at the Wim?
Yeah.
That's against, what's the name of that team? It's not called the Wim.
I can't remember.
It's played at the Wim. I played there before. Of course, I was successful, like I have been throughout my Division 2 career. Yeah, I don't think South Africa are going after the victory. From what I can see, they're just going along. So 12 balls for 37 runs. And my goodness me, they need a Lance Klusener now to come in and get a couple of sixes. The question is, who will the captain turn to? She's going to go back to Connell. I think that's a good move because Connell still has her last over. And when I look at the scorecard, she perhaps herself might bowl the last.
Yeah, she has one more as well. As you say, she has an option, so Dotting can bowl or she'll bowl out herself.
It's a good shot and misfielded. Just 2 runs. I know Connell's going to keep going for the Yorker.
She'll be getting them in very good as well. So probably something that she's been working on.
Thought that might have just hit the pad, but I think it might be bat onto pad. Yeah. No signal from Jacqueline Williams, so there are runs. Amanda Reef has just asked an interesting question. If there are any school children here,
Especially girls.
That's a good question. It would be good to see some here, but I'm not sure if they're downstairs. Where we are, of course, we can't see the crowd. Is cricket played in the schools?
Well, I know there's the Herman Griffith.
Yeah, there are some girls that play in that. Yeah.
The question is, it would be interesting to
When I said cricket is played in the schools, of course, I meant strictly women's because we know it's played very well with the boys.
Yeah. But it would be interesting to find out the journey. Maybe we could find out from your colleague here in terms of.
And we were talking about where the next boundary would come from, and it has definitely come from the bat of Cap, who's been able to get that down to the vacant finite boundary. A little too late, you reckon, though, Charlene?
Yes, it has been. I thought that Cap should have come in before Tuncliffe because she's faced 13 balls 13 runs from 27 balls. Cap
Yeah.
is 22 from 18.
She's actually batted a ball a minute. 18 minutes, 18 balls. That's in the air, but it's going to bounce to Hayley Matthews, the very much loved Barbadian and West Indies opener. So they need 27 runs from the last over, South Africa, if they are to win this match. And Charlene, the question was put to you by Amanda Rifa. Is cricket played among young schoolgirls, whether primary or secondary? Is there a schools program? You know?
One time we had some girls going to schools to get it going, but we also know that Herman Griffith has at least 1 or 2 girls playing with each team.
Tell me something. What was your route to playing for Barbados? I'll ask you that when this delivery is over. It's going to be the captain to finish it off. It's going to go down to the boundary, but someone is there. What was your route to playing for Barbados?
Well, I always loved the game, and I thought that I always could have made a West Indies team. I know that I was always good, and in the tournament, I wish that it would be longer. We only play at least like for 2 weeks, and then we're supposed to be picked from that tournament, which is very short. So that some players might take a little longer to actually score runs. Say like if it's 7 games, you have some people might come last 3 games or 2 may come and score 20, 30, 40 rather than before starting off getting some runs under the belt. So I think that the tournament is too short.
That one is gone over long off. That's a 6 in the dark for the South Africans. It was pretty full, and Cap just launched it over the long off boundary for 6.
Thought that had come in too late.
Yes, I think tactically when the post-mortem is done on this match, Tyrone might have looked back and said, look, we should have really sent Cap earlier. And I was thinking that based on the fact that I think all the hitters were being dismissed, she should have definitely come in a bit earlier.
Yeah, she's 30 from 21.
So 19 now from 3 balls. It's not mathematically possible, but they could get a super over if they get 3 sixes. And she's played across that, and she's bowled. I think played on actually, but well done there from Stephanie Taylor. Cap goes, and South Africa on their way to a defeat. No loss. Cap for 30 from 21. She played well, but like you said, perhaps being sent in a bit too late would have been the undoing of the South Africans' effort. So this Sandals International Series, we have 4 games left. All those games being played in Trinidad and Tobago. I want to thank Andrew Seeley for doing the commentary earlier. Amanda Rifa. We also had Pam Levine, and how can we forget Kaishana Knight, Roland Butcher, who's in Argentina at the moment, also did some commentary, and Betty Lewis, the only female member of the Barbados Cricket Association, and also, of course, former executive at the Barbados Tourism Authority. So 2 balls left for 19 runs. Not mathematically possible unless we get a no ball or 2. Let's see how the captain is going to play it. A loud shout for LBW. Now it says the umpire, no need to throw it away. So 1 ball left for 17 runs, and the Windies women are about to start the T20 series with a win. You wanted to say something, Amanda? So final ball of this match, 18 to win. And that's a catch, a superb. Stupendous to tell the truth. And she's won the game in fine style. Well done to the Windies women. They've won by 18 runs. And Stephanie Taylor has certainly summed up the dominance of this match with that catch, Charlene Tate.
That brings the game to a brilliant ending. Well done by the captain, Taylor.
So congratulations then to the West Indies women. We look at it on the replay. It was well judged and very well taken in the end. So it's the Windies women winning the first of 5 T20s, 4 left in Trinidad and Tobago. So if you're watching in TNT, look forward to some interesting cricket coming down there as the Windies women warm up for the upcoming Cricket World Cup being held in St. Lucia, Guyana, and then Antigua. And they certainly warmed up with a win. Well done.
I think that they rebounded very well from the first game, actually. Come back in that third ODI and play very well. Now to come and win this T20. 124 wasn't looking like a very good score, but they pulled it off. So a good team effort by the lead Stephanie Taylor. Congrats to them.
Windies women versus South Africa women, an evenly contested ODI series, and victory today to the Windies women in the first of the T20 Internationals. We are here for the announcement and presentation of the Player of the Match award, to be done by Mr. Conde Riley, President of the Barbados Cricket Association. And the judges have determined that for a knock of 38 while batting, taking a catch and effecting a run-out while fielding, the Player of the Match, Natasha McLean of Windies men. Congratulations to you. You've seen your role here throughout the ODI series doing work as an emergency fielder. And of course, it seems to me you were itching to get onto the field. Yes, sir. Well, you didn't get to play the ODI series, but is there a preference for you as far as the T20 format of the game is concerned? I like playing both and of course, you're looking forward to the remainder of the series, and also obviously looking forward to the World T20 Championship coming up later in November. Well, congratulations once again. Best of luck to you and to the team. Natasha McLean. So ladies and gentlemen, that's what the Barbados flag. We thank all of you for being part of it. Continue to support the Windies women, of course. Pleasant trip to whatever your destination may be. Good evening, everyone.
The first ever standalone ICC Women's World 2020 is coming to the West Indies November 9th through the 24th. Tune in to watch as history is made. Get the full schedule at icc-cricket.com/World 2020.
Introducing the all-new 500 ml Eco Bottle from Blue Waters. It's easy to open and full of great-tasting sodium-free artesian well water that doesn't spill when you open it thanks to its wide mouth design. So grab one today. Life is better with Blue Waters.
This is what luxury included feels like. Chefs are creating masterpieces. The staff is putting their finishing touches. Bartenders are shaking things up. Butlers are preparing for your arrival. When can we expect you? Sandals, the world's only 5-star luxury included resorts.
It's the right time now. This is we time now. Everybody has a eyes watching them, eyes watching. Time to get them ball bashing. Wicked smashing till we.
The first ever standalone ICC Women's World 2020 is coming to the West Indies November 9th through the 24th. Tune in to watch as history is made. Get the full schedule at icc-cricket.com/world2020.